wow, their life's perfect. But like everyone has their own issues. So that's why like some people I will tell, but I kind of like laugh about it because I don't want to like get upset. But it is like upsetting at times.
Do you feel your relationship with God has helped you with that?
Yeah, I mean, I prayed about it, but I just have to keep praying about it. Oh my gosh, Mom! You can't be crying! No, yeah, I definitely like when I'm in the church environment or like at church or like doing the stuff that I love, I don't do it. It's just more like, oh my gosh, maybe you have to go. Okay. Oh, cheese, yeah. Okay.
3, 2.
Hi, welcome back to Unmuted. My name's Alyssa, and today I'm going to be doing more of a solo talk with you guys. I've done a lot of amazing interviews in the past, like, I don't even know how many months. The past a lot of months of just doing so many episodes and interviewing people about personal stories and trauma and spreading awareness, and then doing fun little interviews as well. But I felt like it was time that I share my story, kind of, and be raw with y'all and let y'all know that although maybe from the outside things seem like, wow, she's got it all together, like everyone has something that they're dealing with, and this is something that I deal with. I do want to say that my mom's behind the camera, and Isaac, and I'm going to be kind of talking to them, so if my eyes go this way, or it's because I'm trying to like also tell them the story as well, because maybe there's things that they don't know or I haven't said before, and then they might interview and ask questions that y'all might have as well. So I don't know how to start this. I deal with anxiety, as I feel like a lot of people do on different levels with different things, and there's different things that trigger people's anxiety. I don't know, do I just go straight into like, so I'll start with my nails. I've always bitten my nails. I mean, I have fake ones on now, I have prom, but that's been something that anxiety has triggered since I was little, I think. I don't think I remember a time having like really pretty nails, and I've always wanted that, but it's just something that from a young age I've done, and I would assume that now being older, that strings from like anxiety. I would grow them out and they would be pretty, and then if it was a test or we went to the movies, I would bite them off. Or like I remember one incident where I was growing them out and I was really proud of myself because it was an accomplishment that I wanted to achieve, and I finally did it, and I was telling myself don't do it, and it was something I was excited about. I would show like my mom, my dad, look at my nails, look how pretty they are. I would paint them every day because I was just obsessed with it, and in cheer I got nervous, and I got a lot of anxiety that my coach wouldn't remember to change my spot in something, and I just want to say that I'm smiling because it's kind of how I cope with things, like kind of joking about it, even though it's something that does affect me. But if I am smiling, I'm just saying that's just because I just think it's silly. But yeah, she wouldn't change my spot, and I got nervous. My anxiety went way higher than it probably should have from a little thing, and I bit my nails off, and I was like, okay, and it's kind of just was like, well, I guess I had to start over. But yeah, that's been something I still struggle with now. But adding on to that, I also, it was, I think, 8th grade, I started to pull my hair. People call it Trichotillomania. It's where you pull your hair out either in your scalp, or it could be your eyebrows or your eyelashes, and I didn't realize I was doing it it's a vivid memory I have in 8th grade where I was sitting in class and it was our last period of the day, and this girl kept asking what I was throwing on the ground, and it was my hair, and I didn't want to tell her because I was embarrassed. And it's so strange because I don't even remember doing that. It was something that was so comfortable for me to ease when I was anxious, if it was during class or socially, and I didn't even realize how much it was affecting me, and like, I guess just me affecting me in the moment until it got bad. So I started in 8th grade or 7th grade. I think it was 8th because that's the only time I can remember. Going into freshman year, I honestly don't remember doing it. I think it was more of, is it junior year? Maybe I started to realize like, oh my God, like I don't have as thick of hair as I used to, because since I was little, I've had really thick, dark hair. Like that's how my hair's always been. And I started to realize that it wasn't the same and that something was different about it. And I started to be more aware of what I was doing and how it was affecting me. And it was hard because I want long, pretty hair, but it's just something that I struggle with if it's during school, which is something that really triggers it. And it sucks because it's not something like I want people to see. I'm not like, oh, look, I'm pulling my hair out. Like that's just embarrassing for me. But it's something I feel like I've kind of dealt with now. It's like I do that. But yeah, at school a lot, and I feel like, I don't know, my hair's just gotten really thin. And I think also I should talk about I'll talk about how I cope with that kind of ways I'm trying to fix it, because I am trying to work on it. I'm still trying to work on it, and it's definitely a worry of mine going into college and how stressful it's going to be and how it's going to be such a change of environment and people around me and a change of like lifestyle in general. And it does make me nervous that I'm going to start pooling a lot. And if I do fix it over the summer, that it's going to come back potentially with all the stress that goes on. And I don't want to lose all my hair. I try to make myself more aware in ways to stop. Like sometimes I'll go watch videos of other people that do it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get to that point. Like, how can I help myself and fix that? So I've been trying new methods. Sometimes I do forget, and sometimes I do lack on doing that, which is my fault and completely my fault. But it's, I guess, something I've gotten so comfortable with that it's hard to change it and get out of that habit, because it's like, the doctor said it's like a behavioral disorder, obsession, OCD related, ADD related, because it does distract me. It affects my schoolwork, it affects me focusing, it affects my grades, and I'll be taking a test and I will go this is embarrassing, 5 to 10 minutes not focusing on my test because I'm so worried about it that I start to mess with my hair and look off and think about how I'm so anxious about the test that I don't focus on it until I realize, oh my God, everyone else is finishing. And I spent all this time doing this. Like, you need to stop. Sit on your hand, do something to start focusing. I've also made some of my teachers aware of it. Like, I don't ever want to be disrespectful. I tell them, I'm like, if you ever see me distracted, if you ever see me messing with my hair, which is probably something they've noticed, they just don't say. And some of them will say, I have noticed that. Just letting them know, like, if it's, hey, Alyssa, what do you think on this question? Or how are you doing on your work? Like, something to where it's not like in front of the whole class, stop messing with your hair, but still making me aware that, hey, like, let's have a conversation now so you'll move your hands away from your hair. So these are like little ways I've tried to adjust like my daily life to help me. Also making like my friends aware. I've spoken freely to my friends about it, openly about it, because I don't want to be something I'm ashamed of. I want to make them aware that this isn't an odd or weird thing. I mean, it's a little like out of the ordinary, but it's not, I shouldn't be ashamed of something that is something that's mental for me. And happens because of anxiety. And this is just something that strings from that, that I'm working on. And I want my friends to be aware of that and help me fix that and get better at stopping it. So I let them, I'm like, if you ever see me do it, maybe pull me away and have me do something with you or start up a conversation, because usually when I am doing it, I'm kind of zoning out. So when I am taken away from the situation, or like taken away from zoning out, I will stop. So letting my friends aware of that, even if it's wearing a beanie when I get home or a hat, so I'm not going straight to my hair, because it's just something so comfortable for me, which sucks to say because I wish it wasn't. Or even having a stress ball, playing with Play-Doh. I made slime the other day just to kind of get myself distracted and doing stuff. And then also just praying about it, praying to God to like make my, like free me from my anxiety or help me out. Just to help me through tough situations when I feel like I'm never going to stop. And knowing that God's there to help me through tough times like that where I am really anxious. But it is something that is a daily struggle for me. And I don't know. I mean, is there any? Yes, I've tried, I think three medications. None of them have really worked, which sucks. One of them I thought was, and then it's like it doesn't. So it's like there's a certain point where I feel like nothing would help, but I am going to be trying hopefully soon, which I'm just so busy. But behavioral therapy to give me alternatives besides doing that and getting me out of that habit. I feel like I should talk about my social anxiety too. I feel like it's something that you don't notice with me doing unmuted. So besides anxiety with my like OCD, ADD, like getting distracted with doing that and my nails, I have really bad social anxiety, which I feel like people don't see, because they do see me doing unmuted and having this platform with my church and getting up in front of the church and talking about it, and doing all this stuff, being in theater, being a cheerleader. But I do struggle a lot with social anxiety and just talking to people in general. I overthink a lot. So like before going up to someone, I make sure I know what I'm gonna say to them, and I try to come up with what they're gonna say back to me so I can have an answer back. Or I will talk to someone and I feel like I'm staring at them too long and they're like, oh my God, she's staring at me. So I'll look away, but then I feel disrespectful, like I'm not looking at them. They probably think I'm not listening. So I'll look back at them. I overthink little things like that, like how many times I look at them. Or when I'm done talking to someone, I'll like analyze what I just said. Like, did you really just say that? Or like just analyzing every little thing I just said and thinking about what they might be thinking after I just said that, even though they probably didn't even think about it or like was analyzing it as much as I was. But little things like that, just being outspoken in general is hard at times. But there are times where I am, like if I see something that's happening that I don't agree with or I think is wrong, I will say something. That's something that makes me want to speak up and be like, this is what I think. You shouldn't be doing that. That's mean. That's rude. That's not respectful. But which is strange because like with moments like that, I'm all in. I'm like, this is what I think. That's not right. You shouldn't be doing that. But in little situations like, hey, I think we should go get those posters that she said to get. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna ask. She's gonna think I'm so weird for asking that. Why would I ask her? Like, no, I can't do that. And it's like, why overthink that? It's so little. It's such a little thing to do. Or even in like, I just exposed myself. Even in group chats, like on text message or if it's Snapchat, I won't message in it because I don't know what other people are gonna think about what I said. Even if it's like, yeah, I agree, or I think we should do that too. I feel like people are gonna be like, why did she message, or like, why is she saying that, or like, who asked? And it's like, you shouldn't even overthink that, because when people send messages in the group chat, I'm not like, ew. I'm just like, oh yeah, or oh, she thinks that. But it's like I overthink everything, which is, it's like, oh my gosh. But I just think these are a lot of things that I deal with, and I feel like a lot of other people deal with it. I think everyone has a level of anxiety, even if they don't have it on a daily life, or, I mean, little things like, I need to make sure I'm on time. Like, you're like, get anxious, like, I need to be on time. But I think people just have different levels of that. If it is pulling at your hair, if it is skin picking, or whatever it is, there's maybe twirling your hair. I feel like everyone has different levels of doing that, but those are just mine. And I wanted to share that because I want people to know that if they do deal with something that I deal with, if it is nail biting or hair pulling or whatever,
Since coming to church, do you feel that has helped your social anxiety?
yes.
How has it changed for you?
It's helped me open up a lot. Like, getting up in front of a church, like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But I just felt so comfortable doing it with the environment and the community around me. It's like once I get down there, all the nerves kind of go away. Or just walking in, and just the whole energy walking into church, it's so welcoming, and I don't feel anxious talking to people. I will go say hi to them, I will hug them. If I don't know them, I'll hug them, and I just feel comfortable doing that, which is like crazy to think about. But I feel like I'm always smiling when people are around me at church, and I don't like have that social, like, scared to talk to anybody. Yeah. Any questions? I'm just trying to think, because I feel like,
I'm bouncing from that question. Do you wish that we would have brought you to church sooner than we did? Because we were latecomers.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Do you think that we should have been a part of the church a lot sooner?
Of course. I mean, I do think we should have joined sooner, and I feel like I've been open up, or I've been given so many amazing opportunities. Although I do think everything happens for a reason. So maybe we did join at that time for a reason, and everything played out as it was for a reason, because Pastor had these ideas and he had these thoughts, and we walked in right when he wanted them. As he said, we answered a prayer of his. So maybe things would have played out different if we joined sooner. So although I do think we should have, because I've learned so much and been taught so much by the amazing people around me, and learned so much more about God and my faith. But I think things happened for a reason, and I'm just glad that we did join when we did.
Do you have a verse that comes to your mind?
A verse. I have one on my Letterman, and I love it, but I always forget what it says. It's like Matthew's 10 something or something like that. Or I only know, I am with you always. Matthew's 28:20. Okay. A verse that comes to my mind. Okay, a verse that I like, that it's even on my Letterman, is Matthew's 28:20, which is, I am with you always. I feel like it speaks for itself. He's with me no matter what, in any situation, in any given moment, or however much anxiety I have. I know that if no one's around, that the one person I can talk to is God. And I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I'll be in my car just speaking, because I don't think people understand that he is family. He's our Father, and you can talk to him anytime. He's always there. And I know I've taken advantage of that. If it's just in my room or on the drive home, and I want to talk to somebody about everything going on and everything I'm anxious about or nervous about, or just want to talk to somebody about that, I can talk to him and he hears me, and I can pray about things that I'm anxious about, and he will answer them. So definitely that verse. And it's with me always on my jacket, my Letterman. But yeah, I really like that verse. Okay. Well, I really enjoyed getting to talk to y'all today about stuff that I deal with as well, because like I said in the beginning, although things may seem from the outside like, wow, she's really got it together, like it looks perfect from the outside, there are things I struggle with, and on a daily basis as well. And I wanted to let y'all know and be raw with y'all and let y'all know that that's something I deal with. And I want to let y'all know that if any one of you that are watching this deal with something that I also deal with, if it is nail biting or hair pulling or social anxiety, that you can talk to me. You can DM me at unmuted_AJC, or even my personal account, which is at Alyssa_AJC. And I'll talk to you with it. I think it's always good to talk to someone who also deals with it, because sometimes talking to people that don't understand are just like, oh, I don't understand, just stop doing it, or why do you do that? And it's hard to explain to someone who doesn't deal with it. So if you do deal with something like that, you can talk to me. I even commenting down below, and I can send you a message. But I'm always here for any of y'all who want to talk, if it is this or something else. But I'm glad I got to talk to y'all today about this, and I hope y'all have an amazing rest of your week, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you follow our Instagram, TikTok at Church of Champions Houston, and subscribe to the YouTube. If you have any stories you'd like to share, topics you'd want me to talk about, comment down below. Thank you. Have a great rest of your week.